All right, everyone. Well, welcome to episode 95
Woo.
of Manifest Mondays. Man, 95. We approaching triple digits here soon, man. It's been a while at this thing, and we are the Spot Network. I'm Zenas. That's DG, and that's Ramond. And today we're gonna be talking about transitions, man. Transitions are something that are just a natural state of, I think, of life, and though they're difficult sometimes, not always the easiest to navigate, can be nerve wracking. I think they're very necessary, and there's good and bad in everything, right? That includes transitions. But that being said, we're gonna kind of dive into everything, transitions that we're going through here on the
Right.
pod, in our own personal lives, those types of things as well. So that being said, I wanted to kick it off with a quote from Robin Sharma that's change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. And I think that's a good way of summing up what transitions look like because, like I said, in the earlier stages, there's a lot of uncertainty, with
Right.
transitions and change, right? Change is just naturally like a hard thing to navigate sometimes. Um, but as you're walking through the process, it can be a little hectic. It can be a little overwhelming. But then once you finally get over that hump and you're at I guess, the tail end of your journey, you realize how necessary and how beautiful all of that was, the good and the bad that ultimately got you to the very step today. So that being said, um, where are y'all at, like in transitions right now? Like, are there any specific transitions y'all can call out to, and any particular like feelings that y'all are, I guess, experiencing, like those different in between spaces, or maybe just at the beginning of transitions? What does that look like in y'all's lives?
Man, my transition is to be the bombest ever. In any in anything I do, no, bro. All joke aside, for me, just like my personal life, just who I am as a person, just trying to evolve, and business, finances. Like I was saying earlier, I have like certain milestone that I'm trying to like reach, right? So that's going to require more of me. So with that being said, there are things that I used to do before. I gotta like that going to become a whole new person. And when I talk about a whole new person, it's just mostly just like mentally, right? Making sure I'm locked in, making sure I'm being disciplined, just like trying to get to that next level. And for me, that's kind of like the transition, like right now, and also like physical, right? Because I'm trying to like make some gains and like improve my
Hmm.
physique and all those things, man. Like you were saying earlier, those things are hard. It doesn't come easy. It requires a lot of work, time, effort. But in order for you to like get to that next level, there has to be some type of transition or some changes, if you want to put it that way. So for me, I would just say like, in business, my personal life, personal finance, and just overall as a man, bro. I feel like I'm just trying to reach to that pinnacle. And I feel like, one of my favorite quotes too, we're like plants. If we're not growing, we're
Or
dying. So at the end of the day,
yeah.
like we have to evolve. It's like it's
Hmm.
mandatory, right? You can't just be in the same mindset that you always had when you was like a teenager. So there has to be some type of growth. There has to be some like mental transition and transformation. So for me, those are the things and those are the areas I'm trying to improve in my life as we speak right now.
That's a great point, DG. And I know you've been saying that. I mean, you were the first one I heard that quote from. I think when we worked at CNA, you was the first you first told me that, bro.
Thanks,
Like in like
bro.
2015 or something. Like, where if you're not growing, you're dying. We're just like plants. But
Right.
that I definitely feel that, man. I feel like it's always dope to kind of re this shift with your at any given moment, right? Like I think it is whether it's like a full transition or it's just like a shift. I think it
Right.
is always good to kind of rebrand yourself wherever you are at this period of time. You know what I mean? I think that's it's important, man, and know that might change later, but just to kind of understand where you're at now, it might be different than it was, and it might be different in the future. But right now, it's like when you're in that transition, it's good to just kind of recognize it and I think embracing it instead of like fighting
Yeah.
it sometimes. It's like sometimes you
Right.
see things that you've been wanting to do or you've been wanting to, you know what I mean, step out and just try new things and you hold yourself back, or people around you kind of like, even if they don't on purpose do it, they kind of put you in the box that you've always been in, right? It's just
Mhm.
natural for people to do that. That's what they know you as. So yeah, for me, definitely a lot of transition in this period, man. It feels like almost like a little uneasy in this moment, right? Like it's like a lot
Yeah,
of things is happening, like that just feels, it's like
yeah,
I don't know all the way know what it is. It's just
Right.
like an uneasy feeling, and Zenas is going to connect to this. Just even on the DJ side, is like a rough transition when a DJ does a rough transition. Like
Right.
I know
Right.
I know it's a good song coming, but the transition between them is a little rocky sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You
No,
know what I
it can
mean?
be.
So yeah, but personally, just on the specific side of it, just transitioning to like a lot of different things that I've tried, but like narrowing it down to three pillars for me was big, and like it gave me clarity to just know that the three pillars I want to rock with as far as like what I'm putting out content wise or just what I'm focused on is going to be music, travel, and finance, and there's things that kind of go under that, but for me it it basically helped me structure how I'd speak to people, and then like
Right.
how I kind of set that up in any conversation that I'm having, and people ask me the age old question, what do you do?
Right.
I
yeah,
just
Right.
tell them music, travel, finance, and if they're interested
Right.
in one of those three, they'll tell me where they want to
Right.
go with it. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, what do you do in finance? Or what do you do with the travel? You know what I mean? Like they'll
Right.
they'll kind of tell me. So kind of just transition and knowing that that's the pillars that I kind of want to move on.
yeah,
I think that's been a big one for me specifically.
yeah.
What about you, Z?
There's several transitions happening in real time in my life right now. I think the biggest one, which I guess I can officially announce it now, is I'll be moving to Phoenix, Arizona,
Woo, woo,
Hey,
come
come
next
on,
month. So
come on, man.
I think that's the biggest transition in my life right now. Is this is like obviously a newer development, and there's a lot that I could speak to, about this transition, right? I love New York, and I'll never um, I'll never say anything bad about New York. Like, right? I honestly still think my chapter in New York isn't necessarily over yet, right? I
Right.
still feel like there's some meat on the bone, but something that I feel like I've realized is sometimes you have to take a step back, or not even a step back, but a side step, right? Like I think about sometimes you just got to sidestep. You got to hit that Euro step, right?
Come
you
on.
got to hit that Euro sometimes in order to really set up the right play, right? Really to um, I think the immediate future and the distant future, the plays that are occurring in my life right now,
Right.
a lot of the signs that I've been reading and listening to and letting them just like guide my life have directed me to like Phoenix, right? And I think just really just being closer to certain individuals, obviously being closer to like Ramond, like like my mom is actually, my mom just moved back to the mainland from Hawaii as of today, actually yeah, yesterday, but she arrived today, so um I think just with where I'm at and where I want to be, I think this is a necessary pivot right now.
Right.
And I think it's only going to set myself up for my future self to be even more proud of just like, just continuing to shake things up. I think of it as like playing cards, right? Sometimes you always got to shuffle the deck, sometimes,
Right.
right? Like you don't play with the same hand for your entire life, right? Like you always
Right.
got to shake things up a little bit. You got to shuffle it around as you continue to play the game. And that's something that I think I've just come to realize is um, I like to keep things. I don't want to necessarily say fresh, but I think change always brings out some of the best moments and opportunities in my life, right? And I
Right.
think these are like necessary changes. They've with just a lot of the things that even the three of us like want to accomplish and whatnot in the near future, and just being in closer proximity and being able to like directly support one another. Because like the thing is, you got to be really aggressive, not just about your goals, but about like your circle, about the people who are directly like around you, frequently, right? And those types of things. understanding that like you want to be around people who speak life into you, who breathe life
Right,
into you, who bring out the best in you, who challenge you, you know, and whatnot. And the three of us, you know, I can speak to it like that's a huge part of this shift, right? You know, so I'm really looking forward to it, man. It's exciting. It's going to be interesting transitioning from New York to Phoenix, right?
right,
I can tell you, I'm sure as hell looking to saving money. I'll tell you that. The next biggest goal in my life is financial freedom, and
right.
one of the biggest ways to attain financial freedom is minimizing your overhead, right? You know,
Correct.
that's a huge piece,
Fact.
right? You know, saving money and limiting your spending
Right.
is a huge way to obviously build that over time. And I think, you know, I signed a 15-month lease, and we'll see what happens over this next 15 months, man. But I'm really excited.
No,
That's
I'm
big,
excited for
bro.
you, bro.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
big,
keep
man.
saying, bro, you. Oh, go ahead, Ramon.
I was gonna say, leave your big coats out there, brother. Put them in storage because you you ain't gonna need them out here, brother.
No, but
Yeah,
I was gonna say shout out to you, bro. You are not afraid to like start over. That's one thing I want to say about you, man. I know a lot of people who are so afraid to like start over, and you're
yeah,
not one of them. You know, sometimes you pivot, you make some moves. Oh, damn, like I'm proud of it. I don't know if I would have done that, but like take the
yeah,
courage to just like believe in yourself, man. Just like start over and believe that you know wherever you go, you bring the vibes.
yeah,
It's gonna be a good time. I just want to say
yeah,
shout out to you, bro. You
yeah,
always like making moves, man. You're not one of those people who are just complacent and just sit complain. You
yeah,
take actionable steps.
yeah. I appreciate that, bro. That means a lot. You know, that's actually one of the reasons why, in just reading the signs and just understanding, like, kind of like where always aligning with my North Star, right? Like what that
Right,
looks like. I think a huge piece of what makes me me is really just I'm a leaper, right? You know, like I said,
right,
if we at the edge of a cliff,
right.
if we all at the edge of the cliff, I'm gonna be probably the first one to leave. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna
You gonna
figure it out.
backflip off that motherfucker, man.
That's just who I am, man, you know? And I think this was really the opportunity to just be like, you know what? Let me just shake some shit up because just
Right,
because I can, right? You know,
right,
not saying that like I'm leaving anything behind or whatever. I love my
right,
people here in New York. I love my community
right,
here. I think there's still a lot of great opportunities, but there's no reason that I can't establish something, especially in today's world where everything is virtual, digital, where we can connect
right,
from anywhere in the world. And it's not like I can't be like like I just booked my round trip flight from Phoenix to New York for a gig in November because I actually already like contractually I'm obligated to like a gig in November. I'll be in
right,
Phoenix at the time, but you know, it's just little things like that. It's just like I can always pop back out to New York if I need to,
right,
right?
right.
So I appreciate that, man. It means a lot, but it's just like fuck
No.
it, let's just leap, man.
Right. Sometimes you scare me, bro. I remember it was Miami on my birthday. We was on the freaking the balcony, fucking the penthouse, and you just jump and sat on the edge. I was like, Z, what are you doing? I was just, and we took a picture. I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why? Like, what? And this dude just like jump and sat on the edge, bro. And like, how many? Like over 50 feet. Like, I was like, do you remember that?
I
Yep.
remember.
I was like,
That's
I remember
funny.
the exact picture too. Like I
right.
remember the exact picture. Yeah,
I was like, not on my birthday, bro. Come on now, you
yeah.
can't be. Don't.
No,
Like we
I
still
even
got to turn up
remember.
tonight.
I remember out in Miami too. Y'all said the same thing when I hopped out the car. So we was
Right.
driving. So Cass was driving the whip, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I literally just popped out of the window, and I'm just hanging out there, just like whole body just out of the window, and everybody's just like, "What the hell are you doing?" But we
That
was
boy
lit,
hit the
man.
Rick. That boy hit the Rick Ross body outside the bed.
No, he did. He got me scared, man. I'm like, nah, bro. Come on, we all gotta be safe out here. No, we can't. We can't. But nah, brother, that's dope, man. And talking about transition too, one thing the Spot Network we're gonna be doing is
Hmm.
transitioning to YouTube. You know, most of you guys know that we usually host the live on IG. But we decided that yesterday, just going forward, just like YouTube is like the platform we want to build on. We just want to like start creating content on that and going forward. And today is going to be pretty much one of our last videos. Am I right here? Am I right, Ramon? Like on
Yeah, for the
IG and
most
going
part. Yeah, yeah,
forward.
yeah. It's gonna be a slow phase, man. But
Right,
yeah, that's just like what Diamond's saying. We we're ready to, make a jump. And to be honest, it's funny because they kind of don't. It doesn't look like they add up, right? Like
Right,
a lot of times we record on Instagram, but we post way more content on YouTube. So
right,
the YouTube has been growing actually faster than the Instagram page. And
Hmm.
as weird as that sounds, so we have a lot more content there than we already do here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
right,
yeah, we're just ready to and there are some like limits on Instagram that we can't,
correct,
deliver the
right,
highest quality that we want to. And
right,
we want to start just really adding new layers to the content and really making this thing like a powerhouse. We want to do some dope things with
right,
it, man. You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Because
yeah, definitely excited.
Yeah, because it's all on IG. Because we have some ideas. Let's say, when we talk about financial literacy and all that, we want to be able to like walk through some scenarios and share our screens and all that, so that way if someone's watching, it's easier for them to like follow along. Because most people like not just most people like visual hands-on learners, right? So like I said,
Hmm.
we just want to make it a lot easier so when people are watching our content, they can actually get something tangible from it. I know you can still get something tangible by just listening, but I think also just having that visual to go along with what we're talking about just makes it more efficient. So that's kind of one of the reasons of us like transitioning to YouTube and just kind of going forward from there.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
man.
a fact. What's one of y'all most exciting things about moving the platform to YouTube for y'all?
I mean, for me, I would say just like overall, the longer content format on YouTube, right? Because
Yep.
I say, IG is cool and everything, but I think YouTube is just for what we're doing. It's more educational. I think people can just
Hmm.
like get on there, enjoy the whole full length video. Because I think IG is like when most people on IG they're just scrolling, right? I think most people don't actually take the time to actually understand or like grasp and absorb the content. But I feel like
Hmm.
YouTube, when we go on YouTube, for me personally, whatever long form content I'm watching, I'm like engaged, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm there
Fact.
Yeah.
watching now. Like, I want to get something out of it. But I think with IG, it's a little different, right? We're still
Yep.
going to be posting on IG, but I think just with Instagram, it's just like mostly like short form content. People don't really
Yeah.
absorb the entire content. So I feel like YouTube is just, I think for me personally, I believe that YouTube will be able to like give better, people are going to be able to like get more out of the content.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's my take on that. What about you guys?
Yeah, for me, I think kind of leaning into that directly is building a community, right? I think not saying that you can't do that on Instagram, but to the point of like what you were just mentioning, DG, is long form content. Instagram isn't necessarily built for long form content, right? We talk about the average person's attention span getting like lower and lower by the day, right? To where everything is pretty much broken down to like TikToks nowadays. TikTok is the
Right,
shortest, right? Instagram would probably be like after, like right before that. But on YouTube, people actually go there for long form content,
right,
and therefore being able to engage. Like it's very rare that we get people who stick with us for the full episode or like for the
right.
full podcast. While we do these lives here on IG. Whereas platforms like YouTube, like what's the other live streaming?
Facebook,
No, 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 the other live streaming platform.
Which
Twitch, yeah.
right,
Platforms like that are actually built for like going live and long form content and whatnot. People actually go there to be engaged with that type of audience. And so the ability to really build out a community, just it seems a lot more logical there, right? So I think that's the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is A, building community, and B, presentation. Anyone who
right,
knows me, I'm always big on presentation and how things are packaged and making sure that things like are visually aesthetic, like you just cross all your T's, dot all your I's. And to the point of what you mentioned earlier, Ramond, is even being able to like make our videos and our content more visually aesthetic,
right,
and to the standard of what we really want it to be, and
right,
really captivating our community as well. I think
right,
those are the two biggest things I look forward to for sure.
right, right. And also, one thing I
that's
want to add
the money.
too. My bad, Ramon. Sorry for interrupting
No, go
you.
ahead.
And I feel like one thing I want to add too is just like kind of like Z mentioned that earlier too, like the community, right? Because I feel like YouTube is easier to like be able to like connect with other content creator who are in the same niche, working together more. I think you can do on IG, but I think it's just a lot easier for me, just on YouTube to be able to do that,
Yep.
than just Instagram too. So
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons I'm excited for being able to transition to
Yeah.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, and how could I forget
1,000%.
monetization? That's also another
Right.
big reason. I
Well,
think it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
it's much easier. Like YouTube is one of the easiest platforms to monetize, right? So it just makes sense. Like like when we really sat here and thought about it, and you really take a step back to like analyze what makes the most sense in the long term. All signs point to YouTube.
yeah.
Absolutely. And y'all hit it on the money, man. The biggest thing that I was going to double down on is just the way that people take in content on different platforms, right? TikTok, you probably got a couple seconds. Instagram might get a minute two out of me, you know what I mean? But
Right.
I really don't even watch YouTube on my phone. I have the
Right.
app on my TV and I
Yeah,
watch it like it's like a streaming app almost, right? Like so
That's
yeah,
when
dope.
I go there, like I'm ready to go at least 20 minutes to an hour on a
Right.
video that I'm gonna watch. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that prime spot. If I don't know who the person is, maybe it's like 15 and 20 minutes.
Right.
But you could even just how you digest content in the long form. It doesn't make sense on some of these smaller platforms. I wrote not smaller platforms, but just platforms set up for shorter videos.
yeah,
So
Right.
everything we do is long form too, right? We do long conversations. We do long DJ mixes. It only makes sense to go on the platform where it's
Right.
set up for that, right? And there's just a lot more back end things we can do. Zenas hit it good, like just so we can really like actually make it presentable, print, display different things on the screen while we're live and stuff like that. So, you know, it'll be an adjustment, man. That's gonna be a transition for real. Like at
Right.
first
yeah.
we're gonna have to stumble. We're gonna have to stumble a little bit because we know we got our Instagram like flow down. Zenus is gonna host, he gonna post it. I'm gonna grab the video, post it. Like we got the little flow down. So we're gonna have to really, you know what I mean, like figure out how we want to do that. But I think it's
Right.
gonna be a good move for us, man, and I'm excited to kind of see where that heads from there.
Yeah.
Right. So, I
Yeah.
mean, if you're watching this, make sure you follow us, on the YouTube journey, and we're still going to be out here. But yeah, I think we was also thinking about, I think, an episode, because this is our 95th episode, right, Z?
Yeah.
We was thinking this is not 100% confirmed yet, but we were just thinking, like, since we started on IG, like the 100 episode, right, maybe we might just do a giveaway or something live on
Yeah.
So
Instagram, before we
Mhm.
finally, decide to, like, say goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
although we've come, yeah, for real. Yeah, I think
Oh,
that'll be dope, man. That'll be. I'm all the way with that, man. And we'll do something. We'll do something dope too, like a dope giveaway. Like what I'm saying. We'll do
yeah.
something
Right,
cool that day for sure.
right,
Yeah. We're gonna figure it out, man. But we just excited. It's crazy to think 95 weeks into this, man. That's really nuts. And to that point, we talk about transitions. We've gone through so many transitions over this 95 weeks, right?
oh yeah,
Um,
bro.
just as individuals, as a group, and even just our transitions from the early phases of when we first started doing these lives. It was just like
Right,
you kind of just
right,
failing forward, right?
right,
We're
right,
just trying to figure it out. And to Ramon's point, we got our system down. And so it's going to be interesting to like kind of like start that process over with YouTube, and there's going to be some kinks that we'll have to work through and all that stuff. But I think just in the long term, man, it's all the moves that we're making right now are power moves. Like we're playing chess right now. Right?
right,
We're not playing checkers. And so every move that I think we're making right now is strategically getting us closer to where we want to be, getting us closer to our own north stars. And you know. I think it's going to be really good and really dope to see what things look like here in the next year and the next 2 years. Because Ramon and I we were talking about this is transitions aren't always the easiest, but like the crazy thing is when you go through them, um, a lot can change in a year, right? Like your entire life can change in 365 days.
facts.
And uh, I know a year flies by nowadays, right? Like I feel like you blink and the year's gone, like half the year is gone already, right? But I think if you truly like, we all know this is lock-in season. This is really the opportunity to especially going into like fall and winter. Like I get summer, everybody want to be outside, have fun, do all that stuff. But this is really the time where reflecting on anything that you've ever wanted in life. And if you truly want it bad, you got to be like, you genuinely have to be aggressive. You really, um, I was reflecting on it the other day, and it's just like, man, I'm sorry, I just don't want a normal life, man. Like I don't
Right,
like, and I'm not trying to knock normalcy in any regard. I'm not trying to knock anyone who wants a normal life. I just know that's not what I want. And no, like, why would I settle for ordinary when I know extraordinary
right,
exists, right?
right,
And we're right on the cusp of it, right? It's really just about unlocking that next level, but unlocking that
right,
next level comes from putting in the effort, the dedication, the discipline, really just putting your head down, um, and avoiding all distractions. And I think
right.
that's one of the biggest things. Which is also another reason, like, I'm giving up drinking for a while. That's also something, that I'm doing as well. So
Come on.
there's a lot of things that are happening, as
Hey,
well. So it's exciting, man. Like, it's the little things, right? And I know I've been tapped into the chat, but I'm still on my fitness shit and whatnot, getting my walks in and all that stuff. And it's gonna be dope to be in Arizona where um, I actually, like, my home gym, at my apartment is fire. Like, so I'm like,
Hmm.
this that's really gonna take my workouts
Hey,
to
I'll be
another.
in there too. Go
you know,
ahead and
you
tell him to make another key, brother.
you probably gonna be in there more than I am. Like,
Yeah.
I'm walking there like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just wrapping up. Like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
just
where did
wrapping
you
up,
even
man.
come
You got it.
from?
You know what I'm saying? They got lemon towels in the back, man. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah, I
yeah.
just wiped it down for you. I just wiped it down for you. Like, fam, what?
No, I agree. I agree. Though. What is a normal life, Z? I don't know what that is, man. What is a normal life talking
I
about? We
don't
don't
know,
want that
man.
over here. You know,
We
end
don't
of the
want that,
day,
man. We don't want
nah,
that.
nah, man. Because end of the day, I think we just who we are. We just want more. That's it's not to like downplay on other people or 9 to 5. We just believe in ourselves. Because like I was having a conversation the other day, like I don't know maybe it was Ryan. I'm like, man, bro, like I just know within myself. I just want more than what I'm doing. And I'm willing to do the work to get there. Right? I'm not one of those people who just like talking about those things, just having fantasy. I think when you have like goals and if you don't work on them, to me, they're like fantasy, right? Because they're not going to happen. But like everything we're talking about, we're actually doing it. I don't know if you guys been following from
Hmm.
episode 1 to this day. We have accomplished a lot of things,
Yeah,
even though most of them like we never post them on social media. But like just going back to where we first started to like now, there have been a lot of things we've done, bro.
yeah,
Within
All
like
of us,
a
man.
year and a half, all of us, man, a lot of things, and those are the things that we had conversation about. I remember everything when we before they even got accomplished, we talked about it and
Yeah.
to just kind of like see all those things like happen in real life. Those are some of the things that give me motivation to just keep going. It's like, man, 2 3 years from now, these things that you're talking about right now, they might seem far away, but they're gonna be possible because all the
yeah,
things you guys talked about before, we got it done. So it just shows you
It,
like anybody that's
yeah.
watching this, you can do it too, man. We're not smarter than y'all. Like we might be bomber than y'all, but like we're not smarter.
that you can't help that though. There's some things that you can't, you know. Man, to bounce off that, DG, it's as we start moving and accomplishing some of the things that we've been working on, it almost reinforces to me how
Right,
close we are just to anything. You know what I mean?
right,
Yeah,
right,
You don't always see the what at the beginning or like the how at the beginning,
right,
but just
right,
walking that path. And it's funny, we talk about it all the time about how we spend our time. That shit, like our life had to change. Like
yeah,
because just how we spend it, right? Like whether it's working out or just the time we spend getting off of work and like still
right,
studying certain things that we're interested in and making connections. And there's like really not a lot of free time in any of our lives. I feel like it's not,
right,
what I mean,
right,
it's not like we cut off to anything in the world, but for the most part, like if I call DG at a random time, I could bet that he's locked into something. He's about to
right,
either he's doing something, just did
right,
something, or just got done
right.
doing something. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like productive though. You know what I mean?
Right,
And that's kind of just what it takes to see. The wins are just like the highlights sometimes. You know what I mean?
right,
But at the
yeah,
same
right,
time, it's like all that back end work that just,
right,
that you go through. Um, those are the pieces
right,
that that make your life change. You know what I mean? And
Right,
I've seen that in all of us, and I
right.
see the actual life changing from those little small habits that we've been taking on. So
Yeah.
Right, bro. Because I feel like for me, I just been so immersed and focused on the grind. I didn't even have time to even like post some of the wins. You know what I'm saying? All my close friend, but I was just looking back like, damn, like we've come so far. 'Cause I remember like
yeah,
we had this conversation a few years ago. Everything was talking about check, check. So imagine like if we just like tick it up a notch, right? We locked in a little bit more, 3, 4, 5 years from now. Because sometimes like what I believe like if you give yourself 10 years to accomplish your goals, it might take you 10 years. But if you say, you know what, how can I like shorten our time frame?
Mhm.
I believe you can get it done in 5 years. I'm a huge believer in that.
thanks.
With
Yeah.
people you surround yourself with, how disciplined you are, how focused you are, with a little bit of luck, you can get there quicker. And just seeing everything we talked about, man, that's why I believe wholeheartedly, like all the things that we're trying, like YouTube, we're gonna kill it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I just seen that when we first started, like first live, we were a little nervous on camera. I remember that, like even
Come
myself,
on, man.
was a little nervous, like I need to
Sitting
figure it
sitting there a
out.
little uncomfortable before the other guys got in, like,
Like
yo,
it like it
you know what I
never
mean?
like flowed easily, but now it just flow. And looking now, going back to episode, I wish people out here man could see the first episode one and now, and just see like just our overall body language, right? Like those little things that you don't pay attention to. Everything has improved.
Yeah.
Just with practice, with time. Even like I think just with this live, it helped me just with my job presentation.
Guarantee
Like
you.
I'm just
Facts.
bold. I'm like I'm ready to talk about this.
Yeah.
Like before, you'd be a little bit shy, but I think just over time, man, it just shows you that if you put in the work over time, man, things are going to change. You might not see it right away in real time, but give us a little bit longer time, you're going to see the results.
Yeah.
And we are prime example, man, of everything that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So
And
shout out
it's
to us.
shout out to us, man. Shout out to us. I'll drink to that. I'm gonna drink some water to
Cheers to that,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying?
that. I think to that point, man. It's really just about seeing things through, man. I think
Right,
just oftentimes people just bow out too early, right?
right,
And a huge part of sick. I honestly, I was talking to, I forgot who I was talking to about this the other day. Honestly, I think the thing that like separates the few from the many is literally just the ability to, the resilience, right? To just keep going.
right.
Where most
Facts,
people would quit,
right.
it's just the ability to keep going, right? Like
Facts,
powering through.
facts,
It's that one more rep, it's that one more
right,
step, it's that one more hour of studying, whatever the case may be. It's just like it's really just the ability to keep going. And granted, there's going to be moments. I know Bree hopped in here for a minute and said, I like to spend my time resting. Am I in the wrong club? I think there's always going to be moments for that, but like I think when you
right.
just understand that greatness, like the ability to live an extraordinary life, is right on the other side of that one rep, that one step, that 1 hour of
Facts,
study, whatever it is. It's
facts,
just like you just keep powering through, man. And it's just like fuck it, I just kept going. That's literally like it. This is the
right.
reason why we're at week number 95 on this episode, like on this podcast. Like there'll be days where it's just like,
You
man,
tired? Yeah.
there's been a couple of days where it's just like, man, I do not feel like potting today, man.
For
Right,
Like
sure.
right.
Had a
it's
long ass
bad,
day.
right? It was a long ass day at work or whatever the case may be. And it's just like I do not feel like doing this shit today. But
Right,
I'm grateful every time we do, because every time we leave, we walk away from these conversations. It's worth it. It's just
right,
like every time you leave a workout, it's like I don't think you ever regret a workout. Like, man, I shouldn't
Hmm.
right,
have done that shit.
right,
Man, I shouldn't have hit these weights. Right?
right,
Like, um, it's like going for a walk. It's like you don't ever regret going for a walk. Like it's just like, man, I shouldn't have taken them 12,000 steps. I should have just stayed my
right,
ass at home, right? Like it's just, it's really just the ability to keep going, man. And it's been really cool to just navigate that more than
right.
anything. It's just fuck it, we just kept powering through all of
And
this. 95 weeks into it, man.
and also talking about transition, the biggest transition because we used to have these conversations behind closed door,
Hmm.
and the
Yeah,
transition was actually to be able to do this conversation online. So
yeah,
that
Yeah.
way other people can like benefit from it. So that's kind of like a huge transition. Imagine if we never done that. there wasn't going to be a spot network. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure a lot of people who just listen to this video are gaining immense knowledge, like gems from this, just by us making our decision. You know what? These conversations we have behind doors, like how can we share this conversation? I'm sure like other people are doing the same thing, or they can learn from that. And that's the transition we made to do that. And now look at us now. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're now the top podcast in the US, man, but we are still consistent, like just for our individual. Like I see a lot of learning opportunities. So each day, I don't care if we're not number one right now, but the fact that we have made so much progress, we have learned a lot individually, just just overcoming together as a teamwork perspective.
Yeah.
There's a lot of valuable lessons right here that we learned from this entire ordeal that I can't take that for granted.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Shout out to Bunny. I see Bunny tapping in, man. But to your point, we may not be number one right now, but they're like, it's funny because I feel like I found myself watching other podcasts like, the Joe Budden podcast or, the Joe Rogan podcast, whatever podcast it might be, EYL. And honestly, I don't think our conversations are far off, if not like
Mm-mm.
very similar to like the same things that they're talking about. It's just
Right.
having that platform, right? And that's the
Correct.
exact reason why we're transitioning over to YouTube is to build that platform because
Right.
that is the platform that I think is uh, substantially more profoundly built for what it is that we're doing as opposed to like Instagram, right? Like
Right.
Instagram is great for what it is, but I think that's a huge reason why we're transitioning and really looking forward to it.
Right. Yeah, I just also want to say shout out to everyone who's been rocking with us, man, since day
Yeah.
one. I appreciate the love and support.
I'm
I just want to say
nasty.
that too.
I see World Away in here. What up, man?
Yeah.
Bozzy B. Shout out to Bree. Shout out to Bree too. She said, I'm learning to schedule joy and rest just like I do productive things, man. And I think
Yeah.
That's
that is
beautiful.
important too, man. Sometimes you can't be productive without like solid rest too. Like I've
Right.
even been a little more serious about that too, just trying to make sure I
Oh
get
yeah.
some sleep schedule. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I think what it is some people almost think it's like it's this or that, you know what I mean? But I think you can do both. You just have to take something out. So it might not be 2 hours of Netflix. It might be that's what you switch out for the productive
Right.
things, or you know
Right.
what I mean? It's like certain things do have to be switched out. But I do think it is important to have that, to have rest and to have those moments that you still, you don't want to be under the rock all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you do gotta to step out. So I
Right.
definitely feel you on that. And more than anything, what we talk about is the things that like building towards the things that we want to do, man. And anything that somebody wants to do for themselves that's like their own journey. Like everybody's kind of on their own journey, right? So
Mhm.
I think it's important for everyone to, like, there's somebody that just might see like the Ferraris and stuff like that. Like, I don't want no part of that. You know what I mean? But
Right.
like social media make them feel like I need to have it. And
Right.
the truth is, you don't. You know what I mean? I think it's
Right.
more important to just be self-aware. Like, what do you actually
Right.
want? What type of life do
Facts.
you actually want to live? And
Right.
get real with that. Because if you don't really want that life, but then you find yourself feeling like you need to have it to like keep up, you're
Right.
gonna hate your
Nah.
life. You're gonna hate
Fact.
your life. You know what I'm saying? But
Fact.
but if you kind of just tap into like, all right, what life do I actually want, and what am I willing to do to get it?
Right. That's it,
When
bro.
you pair those things together, you kind of figure out, all right, I know what I need to do.
Right.
So
Right. No, that's gem right there, man. Because at the end of the day, I think sometimes we allow social media to dictate kind of like the life that we quote unquote want. But at the end of the day, it's your life. You make that decision, whatever you
hmm
want. For me personally, I just happen to like those things, right?
hmm
But there are other people who really don't care. There are some people who just want to live a simple life. Live on a farm, and that's it, and that's good. That's your life. That's your decision. All right, don't be influenced. You on the farm because you see someone else like living in a penthouse. You don't want a penthouse, so why you worry about that? Do the things that you want to do. And I feel like we see that a lot on social media, man. Like people are doing things and we're like, oh, nah, bro, that's not for me. I know I'm not the type of person who want to like party and turn up all night. I be seeing people getting lit. I know for me, that's not the lifestyle. I don't want to be in the club 38, 35, now 40 years old in the club turning up bottle service. That's not the life that I want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can't allow social media to kind of like make you feel like you're missing out. You're only
hmm
missing out on things that you actually want. So I just want to add that to that. That was jam. What you just said. Yeah.
100%, brothers.
Yeah, I know we're getting
100.
closer to that hour, but like you guys have like any like closing remarks on would you rather?
I think. Well, should we start with the closing remarks or should we start with the would you rather?
I'll say closing remark first, and then would you rather after.
Closing remarks, man. I don't know. I'm gonna let y'all go first. I'm gonna think about this.
I'm not even gonna overthink it. I'm
Right.
gonna make my closing remark just like it is in life. I'm not gonna even overthink it. Like if it's something that you want to transition to, then just sometimes you got
Right.
to dive in, whether it's just, it might be ugly at first. It might be, but
Right.
once you get comfortable with it being ugly, then you
Right.
just, you know what I mean? Things kind of just figure out themselves after a
Right.
while, man. It's never going to look great in the beginning. Like the
Right.
quote that he said at the beginning, you know what I mean? It's, ugly or messy and then, gorgeous at the end. So
Yeah,
I think, man, just going through those transitions, be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and and just tap into that version
Right.
of you in the life that you actually want, man.
yeah, yeah,
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I think piggybacking off of that, man, is I don't want to overthink it either, but something that I wanted to go back to as far as like DG, and I appreciate you shouting me out for just my leaping abilities, right?
Of
It's
course,
just,
bro.
but I think the reason why I'm so comfortable leaping is because I ultimately believe in myself and I believe in the people around me that like
Right.
ultimately support me, right? Um, and there's a quote, I forget who said it, but whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're probably right.
Right.
And I believe that I'm capable of anything. I believe that we're all capable of anything. And so I think that's the reason why I feel so like, and maybe it's like brash confidence, right? And just
That's
like,
good. You need that too.
like I just walk around like, you know what, fuck it, like we gonna figure it out. Like I'm gonna find my way ultimately at the end of the day, and there's pros and cons to that, right? Like I
Right.
actually, this woman that I dated previously, she was just like how are you just like it's crazy that you're just so confident, like like she was like that's not something that you just like come across often, and I'm just like I don't know, like I'm not like I don't try to boast, I don't brag, no,
Right.
none of that. It's just like, but at the end of the day, I very much believe in myself. I believe in y'all. I believe in the people around me, and that's the reason why I feel so confidently in being able to just like leap and just we're all figure it outers. You could put us anywhere in life in the world,
Right.
might not be able to speak the language, might not be able to communicate, whatever the case may be, but we're gonna figure it out because you know why we're gonna bring the vibes, right? And I,
Right.
I think it's just the energy that the confidence that you walk through with life. It'll take you extremely far. And at the end of the day, I just ultimately believe in myself because, like, even when no one else believes in me, I know that I still got myself. I still
Right.
got me. Right? And I think anyone who understands being ambitious, who wants to be successful, who just ultimately knows that there's just something that compels, that drives you, that purpose that just inspires
Right.
your life every day. The reason that you wake up, the reason that you go to sleep at night thinking about it every day. I think they understand that sometimes that path gets lonely, right? Like, and it's
Right.
like, damn, like there's moments where it's just like fuck, like this shit this shit is not easy at all, right? It's just like
Right.
you find yourself in those moments like damn. But I say all that to say, um I know that I believe that I can, right? I believe
Right.
that we can, and
Right.
so um you know, those transitions, it makes it a little bit easier just knowing that at the end of the
Right.
day, we're going to be all right, regardless of like what good or bad happens or what discomfort we go through,
Right.
what obstacles, what hurdles we might have to jump over and whatnot. We might fall along the way, right? But I think we're going to get up and get back to it. And so I think that's the reason why the transitions aren't so hard. I think that's the reason why the leaps aren't so hard because we can.
Right. That was beautiful,
Bars,
bro.
brother. Bars, brother.
Yeah.
I felt that.
I don't know if I
I
can beat
definitely felt
that.
that. Yeah, see, yeah.
So all I want to say, man, first of all, I just want to say big shout out to everyone, man, who've been supporting us since day one. And we really appreciate you guys. And also, like Z was saying earlier, sometimes you just gotta take that leap of faith. It's gonna be hard in the beginning. You're gonna stumble, you're gonna fall. but you have to have some level of self-confidence and believing yourself that no matter what the situation is, I'm gonna figure it out, man. And I feel like that's for me, that's why it keeps me going, as well. I just believe whatever life throws at me, I'm gonna figure it out. It's gonna be hard, like just one thing too, like my whole knee surgery, right? Because I remember going back last year, I know my knee is not 100%, but the fact of seeing at that level where I was and where I'm now at, sometimes you just need time. That's all you need
Mhm.
sometimes. If you start something in that moment, you might feel like things are not getting better. Like, God damn, why are my knees still hurting? I'm saying this shit's not getting better, but sometimes you just need time. And that's the same thing with your goals, man. Sometimes you might feel like you're putting all the work, you might be doing everything, but you just need time. Because you're not gonna like see that results in 1 week, 2 weeks, right? But with time, a lot of stuff is gonna reveal. With time, you're gonna know who your real friends are. With time, you're gonna know like if you
Yep.
invest in it, if they're a good investment or not.
Yeah.
Time reveals a lot of things, bro. So sometimes when we start things, we don't see the result right away and we want to quit. But like believing that transition, believing the reason why you decided to like pivot, and trust that. And then it's kind of like investment, right? Sometimes you buy stock and you believe you did the research and your convictions are strong. But then you want to like allow a little market fluctuation to change your mind. But believe why you did the research. If nothing fundamentally
Hmm.
changed, stick to that. So the
Yeah.
same
Yeah,
thing, man. Stick to your goals and whatever it is you decide to do with time, things are going to be better.
Yeah.
That's my closing remark.
Yeah. Love it, man.
100%, man.
Love
Thank
it, man.
you.
Time. I'm
100%.
really glad you mentioned that because time is the biggest test of it all, right? We talk about it all the time. Is uh, the way to truly test anything in your life, whether it be a relationship, whether it be your vision, whether it be your career, whatever the case may be. Time is it, right?
Right.
It's honestly just it. And I get people want to say whatever they want to say. Time's a concept, blah blah blah. Like time is real.
Right.
In my opinion, time is very real. We have a finite amount of it, right? So that
We do.
therefore it is our most valuable resource. And so, piggybacking off of that, use your time wisely.
Right.
Do the things that you want to do, make the transitions, take the leaps, because at the end of the day, it's worth it. Because I know people talk about it all the time. The biggest regret of all is always going to be not taking that shot, not taking that
Right.
leap, and then just like sitting and reflecting, whether that be, you know, I don't know, at home when you're like 47 years old, or like, when you're on your deathbed, whatever the case may be, and just be like, damn, I should have just done it, man. I should have
Right.
just done that shit. Right. I don't think any of us will ever have any of those moments of just like, man, we should have just done it. Nah, we got just do it, man. We like Nike,
Right.
baby. Just do it.
Just do that shit.
Um,
Appreciate you, Bree. Right
Appreciate
on,
you,
man. She
Bree,
said,
for
she
real.
said congrats on 95 episodes.
Yeah, and
Right on.
and Bree, keep enjoying that rest and whatnot too. Right, enjoy that. Be productive, but enjoy that rest too, because it's very
It's
necessary,
important.
man.
Absolutely.
It's very.
Absolutely.
All right, so any of y'all got a would you rather? I got one, but it's not like super like great.
I got nothing, bro, today.
I mean, yeah. I think I'm okay with closing. I'm okay with concluding on the closing
Yeah, we don't
remark.
have to force it either. You know what I'm saying? We don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I mean, I'll pose the question. I think we're all gonna agree on this, right? But so this is a spot network. We always gonna put y'all on the spot at the end of every episode. We ask you a would you rather question, right? This or that. Today's would you rather is would you rather sacrifice comfort in relationships to chase your vision, or sacrifice your vision to comfort in relationships? So I'm gonna pose that question again. Would you rather sacrifice comfort in relationships to chase your vision, or would you rather sacrifice comfort in relationships, or excuse me, sacrifice your vision to keep comfort in relationships?
Are you being specific? Like, I mean, like, are you saying like all relationships? 'Cause that's pretty extreme, right? Like, you talking about like all relationships?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the only way to make it like extreme enough to pick. So you sacrifice all relationships
All right, I'll give you
and all
this
comfort.
because
No, 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 no.
we talked about it last episode where it was just
Right,
like you got like five people. You
right.
got five people that you could like spend your money on. So same logic with this one. Like you could sacrifice all but five relationships in your life.
Man,
You
So
say
the
would you
harder
rather
part,
sacrifice?
the
I'm gonna
harder
say I'm
part
gonna
was
ask the question again. Would you rather sacrifice comfort in relationships to chase your vision, with the exception of five, or
comfort.
sacrifice
Yeah.
your vision to keep comfort in relationships?
To keep comfort in relationship. Damn, that's hard, man.
well. So that I
'Cause I,
mean,
And
this
granted,
if you
like
make it,
so, if you're sacrificing your vision, that means like you can't like any type of business, like whatever kind of business it is. Nah, you got to work a corporate job. Like that's it for the rest of your life.
this ain't as easy as you
There
made
is
it
no
sound.
pivoting. You can't pivot into music, into travel, into being an entrepreneur. No, none of that. You just got to work a corporate gig for the rest of your life.
but you keep the relationship though, right? With
But you keep the
people you have.
relationships. Yeah,
For me,
absolutely.
so I mean, this is a hard one. Even though like me, like damn,
This
last
is
one,
actually
I was worried
hard.
about the money. I mean, personally, I'll pick the keeping the relationship because I feel like life is all about relationship, especially having good relationship, and then just live life the way it is.
Yeah.
I'll say for me personally, yeah, it
I,
was sucks. So I ain't
Yeah,
gonna lie,
you
that
made
would
it. You
suck.
made it too extreme. You made it too extreme, man. Like
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
you know,
that
like
would
to be
suck for
honest,
me.
usually I'm on like the side of the vision because I know like usually like I'm uncomfortable when I'm not pursuing things vision wise. But when you're saying like sacrifice, I got more than five people that I need to have relationships with.
yeah,
Right,
That's just a
right.
fact.
yeah.
I got
So
four
like,
brothers.
you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I got more
Yeah.
than five, bro. So in
I
that
got
case,
friends.
and
Like, y'all, come on
what
now.
we didn't even touch on, or what you said too, you're sacrificing comfort and relationships for your vision. That means if you like on the other side, if you could never like go after your vision, and on this side you can never be comfortable.
Yeah,
Ever. We didn't even talk. You didn't talk about the comfort part. That means I get being comfortable with being uncomfortable, but this is like in
right,
this case, it's like you just sacrificing all comfort. It sounds like you could
yeah,
never be comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? So in this, I guess this one, I'm going with
yeah,
as hard as it would be. I think I'm gonna be on the side of Diamond, bro.
yeah. Because I can't, man.
Sacrifice
I
the
can't.
vision.
Yeah, I'll take it for the vision. I'll just work
That
about
would
it because
hurt. It
life would
would
be
be hard,
sad.
bro. Life would be long,
Yeah,
like doing it. But man, at least I, you know what I'm saying, have my people. I guess you know what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah. I'll have my
where
people,
you at
man.
with
It
this
would be
beat?
hard.
You know what? I'm actually surprised y'all answered that way because
I am too. And I just had to
It's
sit there
hard.
with it.
It's hard
y'all giving them the
because
vision, man. Like
you
fulfillment is everything.
said five people, bro. And I have four brothers,
Yeah,
so
Five,
that
bro.
mean
Come
like
on. Think
that.
about can you pick would you be
I'm
able to pick
done.
five, Z? Would you be
I
able to
can't.
think about it though? Would you be able to pick the five and never be comfortable too?
all I'm saying is I'm
And
surprised
then
y'all picked
my
that way.
girl, my mom, y'all, like, come on, like,
I don't
what am
need
I
a
supposed
girl.
to do? Like, nah.
um, nah, I'm saying I'm surprised y'all picked that one because I'm picking it too. Is what I'm
It
saying.
was too extreme, bro. It
Yeah,
was
nah.
too
Like at the end of the
extreme.
day, like don't get me wrong. Like the vision is fulfillment is everything. Like anyone who knows me knows like purpose is
Right,
everything in my life. But a lot of the reasons why, like a lot of my purpose aligns with
right,
like as far as like what like my passions are in life, like the music and travel, all that stuff. A lot of it ties back to my purpose of my people, right? Like that's what's most important more than anything else is, you know, what we talk about all the time is it's not a matter of like what you do for yourself, it's what you do for others.
right.
And if I only have literally five people that I can maintain relationships with,
Yeah, five is not enough, bro.
that's that's
It's not enough.
that's crazy. Like like nah, there's no way.
Yeah,
Like I don't
yeah,
care what level of vision I accomplish and what
yeah,
amount of success I were to have, it wouldn't be worth it, at the end of the
yeah,
day.
yeah.
But
So
it's just before we wrap, how many people would you need to be in that side to switch?
I would say like at least 100 people, bro.
100?
nah,
That's a lot. I can't
I
give
could
you
do it.
100.
I could do it for less than 100 people.
Because think about it, though, right? A life when you get older, you're gonna like connect with a lot of good people, and also to comfort. You never have comfort ever again. Like no, so I need
I
like
know
those people at
that's
least.
a
So
No
like I
comfort.
would say at least
That's
100
hard.
people, bro. Yeah, at least 100 people. Because think about it, I think right now I know like solid 30 or 40 people in my life.
That you can name fast too, huh? Like,
Correct. I can
yeah,
name five. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So imagine as we get older, sometimes you might connect with other people. You're like, man, like I love this guy. Like he has, we have a lot in common. So imagine not having the ability to ever do that again.
Imagine if you
Like
picture 40 and then you had kids. And they
right.
couldn't be, and they couldn't be, you could
They
have a
can't,
relationship.
like
Yeah,
they
man.
can't. So like
Yeah,
yeah. So
I was gonna say I could do it. I could do it with less than 100 people, but it'd probably be like, damn,
man, I feel
yeah.
100 minimum, bro.
It would probably have to be at least like 50 people, probably.
Right.
I probably need like 50, and I'm sorry, I need like three moments of comfort a year at least, bro. I need so let me get three, like no comfort, bro, is wild, man. Like give me
It's just
three moments. You know what I'm
three more.
saying? Let me feel comfortable for like 3 days out the year at least, bro.
It's a 3 days out the
Yeah,
year. All
yeah.
right,
Well, man.
fellas.
Well, from this on, man, I feel like it's damn near farewell to Instagram,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. So.
100 episode we might be back, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So anybody who's still on here, man, and then watches it later, make sure you follow us on YouTube at the Spot Network. Like I said, we're gonna be moving. Like we said, we're gonna be moving our platform over there. We're gonna be doing, lives and different types of content on there rather than here. So if you're
Right.
used to seeing us here, man,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be the same, man. We're gonna be over there YouTube, but definitely
It's
follow
so
us over there, man. And it's gonna be.
hard to
It feels like it's
say
like a real farewell, huh? Like you know what I'm
bye
saying? 95
to
weeks of this thing. You know what I mean? So
Instagram.
Yeah. Nothing was the same, man. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, man, change is necessary, and I think we're just going to be able to carry out our vision much further on YouTube. So definitely tap in with us again. Follow us at the Spot Network Official on all social media platforms, but specifically YouTube, because that's obviously where we're migrating to, and that's where we're going to be sharing a lot of content. So definitely tap in with us on YouTube and all social media platforms again at the Spot Network Official. We appreciate everybody, man, who's rocked with us over these 95 weeks. And we're not going to be completely gone, right? Like we're
Right.
just moving over to a different platform. So definitely be sure to like transition over there with us. I know y'all all got YouTube accounts, so don't be acting
Right.
dumb you don't know how to operate YouTube. I know y'all go on YouTube and watch a bunch of shit. So
Right.
y'all can
Show
bring
some
y'all's asses
love
over to YouTube and tap in with us there.
for
Um,
sure.
but we appreciate everybody, man. Like it's been a crazy 95 weeks, and we're still going strong, and we're gonna continue going strong. But man, shout out to us, man, and the Spot Network, and just the continued keeping it pushing, right, and the success
95
that's
weeks,
coming out of
baby.
us.
We went
95 weeks,
91
man.
weeks strong, baby. Come on.
95 weeks, baby. So
That's not easy. That's not easy, bro.
that's not
We've
easy.
been around the world. We really been around the world over the course of these 95 weeks, man. All of us, different places, different things going on, from weddings to you know what I mean, trips to Sicily to
Birthday.
Brazil,
Yeah.
New
Yeah,
York. We just we didn't miss one week. That's actually insane, bro. So like shout out
Right.
to that, man. We
yeah,
stuck to it, bro. We stuck to that for 95 weeks,
yeah.
and hopefully 95 more.
Yeah, 95 more,
Absolutely.
man. We're gonna keep going strong. But shout out to y'all fellas, man. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, I genuinely believe in all of us. And because I know at the end of the day we can, man. So we're gonna keep leaping, man. We're gonna keep manifesting with us every Monday, man. We're gonna be back next Monday. We're gonna be on a new platform, but it doesn't matter. Like the platform may have changed, but everything else stays the same. We still rocking. So be sure to tap in with us then. But other than that, man, y'all be blessed, man. Have a good week, and let's keep it rocking.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas.
All right, y'all.
Peace
Peace,
out.
fellas. Yeah.